أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا فضربنا على آذانهم في الكهف سنين عددا ثم بعثناهم لنعلم أي الحزبين أحصى لما لبثوا أمدا نحن نقص عليك نبأهم بالحق إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم وزدناهم هدى وربطنا على قلوبهم إذ قاموا فقالوا ربنا رب السماوات والأرض لن ندعو من دونه إلها لقد قلنا إذا شططا هؤلاء قوم اتخذوا من دونه آلهة لولا يأتون عليهم بسلطان بين فمن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. Allah Ta'ala makes a mention, verse 9 of Surah Al-Kahf. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم. Do you think that the people of the cave and the raqim كانوا من آياتنا عجبا, or wonders from our signs? إذ أوى الفتية إلى الكهف, when the youth took refuge in the cave, saying فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة, O our Lord, bestow on us mercy, especially from yourself, وَهِيِّئْ لَنَا مِنْ أَمْرِنَا رَشَدًا, and facilitate a suitable solution for us to our plight. فَضَرَبْنَا عَلَىٰ آذَانِهِمْ فِي الْكَهْفِ سِنِينَ عَدَدًا, so we cast a veil upon the ears for many years in the cave. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَاهُمْ لِنَعْلَمَ أَيُّ الْحِزْبَيْنِ أَحْصَى لِمَا لَبِثُوا أَمَدًا. Thereafter we raised them so that they may know which of the two groups will be able to specify correctly for how long they had remained in the cave. This verse refers to the few youths who hid in a cave to escape the persecution of the kuffar and their king. At that time they were worshipping idols, and they wanted everyone to worship idols, the king, the followers, the public. But these youths, they went against it. They said, no, how can we worship idols? Only worship one Allah. So they remained there, but they did not compromise their deen. They did not compromise their beliefs. The belief of Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the belief that we cannot associate partners with Allah. So they did not compromise their belief, but they stayed there. But then it came to such a time where the king started persecuting everyone. Those who do not believe in him, kill them. Those who don't believe in idol worshipping and don't take up idol worshipping, those who go against idol worshipping, kill them. In this day and age it happens. You don't believe us, we'll kill you. You don't do this, economic sanctions. You don't do this, this will happen. It happens in many different ways. So that was what was going on at that time. Allah talks about, so basically when it came to this state where they were going to be persecuted, then they hid in a cave. They went out of that place because they didn't want to compromise their deen and iman, so they went away. Allah Ta'ala also talks about here, do you think the people of the cave and the raqim were wonders from our sign? Hazrat Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu and Imam Sha'bi state that Raqim was the name of their dog. So these youth had a dog and his name was Raqim. In them days, probably in their Sharia, it was permissible to keep a dog. But in our Sharia, it is not permissible to keep a dog. Very, very important. A lot of people are keeping pet dogs. As pets, I've seen so many people. And usko kuch samajhte nahi, they think it's fine. It's not permissible. Prophet mentioned the hadith, لا تدخل الملائكة بيتا فيه كلب وتصابير. The angels of mercy do not enter that house where there is a dog and there's pictures. Very important. When angels of mercy are not going to come, then what sort of angels are going to come? Who's going to come? No rahmat in the house, no barakat in the house. So it's very important that we let people know that by keeping a dog, a pet dog I'm talking about, is not permissible. The only dogs which are permissible for a person to keep is either it's a guide dog, someone who's blind and they need a dog to guide them. By shikari, for hunting, and that's only for specific purposes, and they have to be kept in a special way. Very important. Guard dog, security ke liye. You got a big house, big thingy, you need security. For that is fine. That is permissible. But keep a dog as a pet, in Islam it is not permissible. Bear this in mind. Make it very, very clear. So if you know many of our Muslim friends, family, brothers, whoever, let them know politely, this is not permissible. Nowadays we tell someone, give me proof. Give me proof. I want proof. It looks like you are so paband of the Sharia and you love Allah so much, that's what it is. SubhanAllah. Be careful. And also I'd like to mention one thing as well, as we on, mashallah, is very summer and very hot sometimes. So what a lot of people do, mashallah, they wear shorts. Nothing wrong in wearing shorts, but you have to understand the satar that has to be covered at all times. The part of the body for the male has to be covered at all times. According to Imam Abu Hanifa and those who follow the Hanafi school of thought, remember this very carefully, it is from the navel, the belly button, right up to the knees, and also including the knees. Also including the knees. Therefore, if you're wearing shorts, it has to be that long that it covers your knees. You see, many people today, it's not covered, and they don't know. Unknowingly, they don't know the masla. But it's ours. Sometimes we think we see it at home and we just ignore it. Don't ignore it. You have to cover the knees. It is part of satar. It has to be covered at all times. Yes, I know it's hot, but it has to be covered. Great alternative for shorts, wear 3/4. Wear 3/4. They have that as well now, mashallah. That comes right up to the calf. No problem. You can wear it. So bear that. And also when we come into the masjid, there's very few people listening here, unfortunately here. Otherwise it will be very beneficial. That's the biggest problem itself. For football matches, everyone come ready. And if it does, no one wants to come. How are you going to get people close? Anyway, listen to this very carefully. Shorts. If you're wearing t-shirt as well, make sure it's a bit long. Sometimes if you're wearing a t-shirt or shirt, it's very short. So when you go in namaz and you're going to ruku, that back is exposed. That is also part of satar. And if it's exposed for more than 3 subhanallahs, your namaz is not valid. This is also a masla we need to understand. So wear t-shirt, wherever, but you have to understand your satar has to be covered, and in namaz it has to be covered as well at all time. And if it's exposed and the satar becomes open, any part between navel and the knees, for equivalent of 3 subhanallahs, your namaz is not valid. It's very important, this one we need to know. A lot of people don't know anymore, unfortunately. So convey the message to those who who are not present, convey this message. Very important. So anyway, we talked about Raqim. So what was Raqim? So according to Hazrat Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala an, and Imam Shabi rahimahullah, that Raqim was the name of their dog, these youth, the name of the dog. Well, another great tabi'i and a great scholar, Sa'id bin Jubair Ali rahimah, says that Raqim was a stone tablet on which the incident of these people was engraved. And this was hung at the mouth of their cave. So the Raqim was like a tablet. It must be out of concrete, and they placed it hung by the grave. Okay, and the incident of these people was also written on there, because this is what happened to these such youth, basically. Okay. According to one narration of Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala an, Raqim was a book containing some facts about the Sharia of Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So there are different opinions in relation to what is Raqim. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala an, Imam al-Mufassirin, all his narrations are related to Tafseer. He says that this was the name Raqim of a valley between Ela and Palestine, in which the cave is situated. Once when Hazrat Abbas was asked about the Raqim, he said he was not certain. That he said that he had heard from Ka'b Ahbar, a former Jewish rabbi who accepted Islam during the time of the Sahaba, that this was the name of the town from which the people of the cave come from. So different things have been mentioned. Further, Allah Ta'ala makes a mention, نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ نَبَأَهُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. We narrate to you their story in perfect truth. إِنَّهُمْ فِتْيَةٌ آمَنُوا بِرَبِّهِمْ. There were a few youths who believe in their Lord. وَزِدْنَاهُمْ هُدًى. And we increased them in guidance. So Allah Ta'ala is praising the youth here. That even at the time of Jawani and youth, and you can do so much, you can fulfill to temptations, but these youth, they were strong in the Iman. They're strong in their faith. They're strong in believing in what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when youth are strong in their deen, Allah's rahmat descends so much. Because it's very easy for them to be misguided, but they control themselves. They control their desires and whims. They can do everything they want. In this day and age, everybody can do anything. No one's there. Everything on the mobile phone now. You don't need to do it. But yet a youngster who controls his desires and whims and puts Allah first, the deen first, Islam first, Iman first, then that youngster is very close to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we get old, we haven't got much to do now. Not too many desires, no, but Allah, Allah, we do Allah, Allah. We do zikr, we do ibadat. Still a lot of sawab, but itna kamal, it's not a big deal. But for a youngster, he's got his whole life ahead. So many temptations, he could do so many things. Go out and do so many guna and no one even know about it. But yet he controls himself, and especially in this day and age, I would say that youngster is a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's a buzug. And it's good to see many youngsters, mashallah, we notice at the age of 17, 18, 19, whole life ahead, they could do so many things. But yet, mashallah, they don't miss single namaz. They come to the masjid, they listen to duroos, they listen to talks, they got dadi, beard, Islamic libas. They're walking very humbly. Allah's rahmat shines so much on such Naujawan. And for a parent, that is Jannat in the dunya. For a parent, the Jannat in the dunya is not wealth, is not big business, but Jannat in the dunya is pious children. You can sleep properly. You can sleep properly. Your heart will be so content. Why? You got such Naujawan and youth who are zakir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who are shakir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub, the zikr brings itminan in the heart. It doesn't only bring itminan in the heart of that person, but when youngsters and our children are doing zikr of Allah, it makes itminan in the hearts of the parents as well. That mashallah, I'm so happy that my child, my daughter, my son is paband of namaz, paband of zikr, paband of tilawat, paband of going to jamaat, paband of in the company of ulama and sulaha. How great it is for that parent. He's very busy in the work of deen, in the khidmat of deen. He's fulfilling the rights of his family, fulfilling the rights of Allah as well. Allah is talking about these youth here. Youth are very precious because they are the future. Their iman and taqwa and deen strong, mashallah. Discipline there, they're going to be the leaders of tomorrow. So Allah makes a mention of this. وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. And Allah mentions here, وَزِدْنَاهُمْ هُدًى, and we increase them in guidance. Because they put Allah first, Allah grants them guidance. Allah grants them hidayah. and more hidayah. وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ إِذْ قَامُوا. We consolidated their hearts when they stood up and said, subhanAllah, meaning it's not easy to in front of a Zalim Badsha say, Allah is one. They could get killed. But Allah said, we consoled their hearts, we comforted their hearts. It's not easy to speak the truth all the time. It requires a lot of guts and courage and himmat. I said, وَرَبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. We consolidated their hearts when they stood up and said, رَبُّنَا رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Our Rabb, our Lord is a Lord of the heavens and the earth. Subhanallah. Yani, أَفْضَلُ الْجِهَادِ كَلِمَةُ حَقٍّ عِنْدَ سُلْطَانٍ جَائِرٍ. Yani, subhanallah. لَن نَدْعُوَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَهًا. We will never accept any other as deity besides Him. Yani, there will be no one worthy of worship besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَقَدْ قُلْنَا إِذًا شَطَطًا. Well, then we should have definitely uttered sheer transgression. Yani, if you had associated partners with Allah, then we have claimed to be mushrik, and we are not. But may Allah tabarak wa ta'ala give us a tawfiq. Yani, grant us tawfiq to abstain from shirk and gunah and sins, and the youth and the jawani and the prime that Allah has given, the health Allah has given, the youth Allah has given. May Allah give us a tawfiq to utilize it for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdihi.